All right, let's go ahead and get started. It looks like we have a good group today on this Friday morning. It's so nice that it's May now. It's crazy. We've all been in our little bubbles for quite some time. It's crazy that we're close to summertime. I hope everyone's doing great today. Thanks for participating. Today we're going to be talking about resumes. We're going to be talking about branding ourselves, developing that good skill set, what really suits us for looking for work today, and how to really build that professional brand. And with doing that, we're going to be using careeregeeasttex.com. This is a great tool. This is a great website that's free to use as a job seeker. It has everything you could ever want in regards to building those employable skills, building a resume, properly filling out a job application, gaining interview skills, all sorts of things like that. If you've already looked at our webinar schedule, our very own Tony Jones teaches that introduction to Career Edge. If you're not using it, you really need to get on that because you will come out successful in whichever industry that you choose if you get on Career Edge. So today I'm going to be talking about the resume builder within Career Edge. So we're going to be honing exactly what that entails today. My name is Cami Thompson. I'll be facilitating this today. I work for Workforce Solutions East Texas based out of our Longview office. And I teach reemployment orientations. I assist the job seeker with an array of employable skills and teaching and facilitating different classes. So I'm glad you're all here today, and let's go ahead and get started. Like I put in the chat, if you would like to ask any questions, feel free to do so. I'm going to be monitoring it as I move forward. So thank you so much for being here once again. As always, we'd like our job seekers to understand our mission. It is the mission of the Workforce Solutions East Texas Board to improve the quality of life in this area through economic development by providing a first-class workforce for present and future businesses. It's our intent to help our job seekers. It's our intent to help our employers and put those two and two together. We never want to be second class or third class. We always want to be thrusting forward as a first class workforce and really constantly developing. Even in this time of constant change, we're trying to evolve. We have a virtual presence as we're here together. So I just want you to always know that we're here for you and we're always moving forward with our mission, and it always remains. Okay, today's learning objectives, you will learn what a resume is and its purpose. A lot of us might have never needed a resume for some of our previous jobs. Some of us might be off the job now and having to regain some job employable skills, and you hadn't had to have one. So, in 2020, we're going to really discuss, it really is necessary to have a resume because you don't really get to see the employer's face prior until the interview process. And the resume really starts that a moment of speaking for you and who you are in that brand. What are you trying to convey to the employer? And that's what we're going to talk about, the importance of the resume and its purpose. And then you will learn how to build a resume using careeregeeasttex.com. After the end of this webinar, you'll be able to go to careeregeeasttex.com. You'll be able to form this resume quickly and efficiently and be able to print one off, have ready for employers, email, upload to your job applications. And then once, I saw that an employer was having a virtual job fair. Things are still up and moving and going. So, you'll be able to go to job fairs with it and, be able to really network for yourself. So like I said, write down careeregeeasttex.com. That's what we're going to be dealing with today in regards to the resume builder. So what is a resume? Very simple. A resume is a digest of your qualifications that inform an employer of 5 things: who you are, what you know, what you have done, what you would like to do, and how you can benefit the employer. the whole intent is you're conveying, this is me, this is what I have going on. You're going to love what you see and you're going to want me to work for you. And that's the whole intent. And you're selling yourself, right? If you never thought of yourself as a salesman, you are. I assure you, especially when you're looking for work, you have to really embrace that mentality and become a salesman. That way you can convey to that employer of these 5 things: who you are, what you know, what you've done, what you would like to do, and how you can benefit them, and then sell yourself, and then, you know, be able to move forward in that hiring process. And that's the whole intent of what a resume is. Let me go ahead and introduce you to what Career Edge website looks like. The moment you type into your web browser, www.careeredgeeasttex.com, this is the front page that'll come up. As you can see, there's several things immediately at the top. You can already see the resume builders up there, the job, you know, mock job application if you hadn't, you know, filled out a job application in a while. There's different student and professional development, the different toolkits, which involve several modules that are really beneficial to you. And we're bringing a lot of those modules to life via these webinars, like, you know, the interview process, managing change in your attitude, all of those aspects, especially during this time that we really kind of have to adjust ourselves and seeing what that career path looks like, and allow these toolkits to help us moving forward. And that's what Career Edge does for you. It's very simple. If you've never touched Career Edge before, you just hit this green button that says register here. It's very simple in format. You're going to put your name, you'll put an email, you'll put like a quick password, and then it goes ahead and saves it. And then once you log in every time, returning members would put their email and password, you log in, and then you come up with your portfolio and your what you have going on for your home page. And then you get to move forward in wherever type of development you want to move forward in. So in this case, we're going to be discussing the resume builder, which is at the top. Okay. Once you go ahead and log in, this is your Career Edge homepage. You could immediately go to touch on your resume, go to your e-portfolio, look at your professional development, where you stand. And these colorful blocks at the bottom, those all represent the different modules we have that can really assist you with your development. So getting to know yourself, managing change in your attitude, goal setting, learning stress relieving strategies. We all definitely need that right now. Time management, that's a necessary employable skill that we can learn in just our lives, but then, you know, going towards the employment side. And then just in general study skills, if somebody were to be obtaining schooling and things like that. This website helps not only the young adults, you know, maybe people getting ready to come out of high school, you know, moving forward into a career path, but this helps every walk of life in assessing what you need. So take advantage of this, but this would be that homepage once you log in. All right, so we went ahead and clicked Resume Builder because that's what we're going to focus on the most. If you really want in-depth on Career Edge, go ahead and look to our webinar schedule, and Tony Jones will be presenting that, and really nice and thorough presentation on what you need with Career Edge. But we'll go ahead and talk about a resume builder. So we went ahead and clicked on Resume Builder. What's nice is they give you a step-by-step with every section of this resume builder. There's a lady that comes on and she guides you through. She says, welcome to Resume Builder. Let's get started. This is where, you know, this is the first portion that we're going to pay attention to. Go ahead and set your profile up, and she'll talk you through it. You know, you watch this webinar, but then you log on later, she'll be able to guide you through, you know, anything I might have missed. So we want to go ahead and click on a new resume, or you'll have resumes already, you know, if you've already accumulated some, those will populate too. Because what's neat is is some of us have several skills. Some of us have several pathways that we could go to with our jobs. And so we should, you know, possibly have a couple different resumes. You have a base resume, which probably has everything you've done, all your education, you know, different skill sets, but then you might have different avenues of employment that you've gone. So maybe your customer service over here, maybe you have, you know, a coaching type of avenue over here. You know, those wouldn't be jumbled together. You'd probably have two different resumes, but you'd have your base resume. And this resume builder really does allow you to, you know, create different ones. And then you could download and then be able to print off whichever, you know, job that you're looking at the time. But for this instance, we're going to go ahead and create a new resume together. And then we're going to look at each section. All right, so it's building time. And this individual, they needed a customer service representative type of position. And so that's the type of job we're looking for. We're trying to build a resume that really hones the skills of a customer service rep. And so as you see here, I named my resume, went ahead and named it what job I want, and then I'm going to choose my program. It says program, but that's going to be the skill set regarding your industry. So if you're healthcare, you're going to go to a healthcare skill set. If you're manufacturing, you'll go there, you know, through and through. If you're safety, you know, you'll find your skill set, because you'll find throughout building this resume, they assist you in offering you what those skills look like within your industry and your specific occupation. So at the bottom, you see there's two different versions that you can choose. There's a chronological version and a functional version. Chronological oftentimes is the formatted resume that's usually traditional. It's easy to follow. It lists and describes work experience by company, and education experience are listed in reverse. So the order begins with the most recent job, and skills and abilities are usually directed to the position. So that's a chronological one. That might be that individual who's really, you know, they went to school, they gained a credential, you know, and they went ahead and pursued that career path, and they were able to chronologically, you know, in building their career, they kind of have it, you know, one after the other. You can see the job. And the education experience are listed in reverse. However, the functional, which I find really oftentimes suits our job seekers, especially if they have different skills and abilities, and they have different, you know, avenues that they've pursued. This usually represents an individual who has grouped accomplishments, and they're focused on their skills and abilities in those different jobs they've held. They oftentimes omit the employers and their job titles, and oftentimes might be for an individual who has limited experience, or they're for people with gaps in employment. An individual who has, you know, gaps in employment probably wouldn't want a chronological, because, you know, an employer would see that gap and you kind of have to have some explanations. But functional really is beneficial, because a lot of times the employer really just wants an individual who hones their skill and knows what they do well and have really developed that skill set. And that can be the individual with the functional type resume. So like I said, you could click whichever one you think pertains to you, but we're going to discuss what each of those sections look like. But in this instance, I chose customer service. And if I went ahead and chose general skills, because sometimes, you know, in our mind, we're like, I know what I can do, but I can't put it on paper. It's just kind of difficult for me. Well, when you choose your programs and you go ahead and choose general skills, that can allow you to have some, you know, generic skill set that kind of covers an array of different jobs, especially if you're choosing functional and you have different types of occupations. This one can cover an abundant, you know, type of work. So we went ahead and put general skills. We probably would have put, you know, say this individual, you know, is customer service and they've gotten a customer service certification, and, you know, they've gotten some business type, you know, type of education in the past. You know, we'd probably put a skill set more business, you know, but in this sense, we're going to start with just general skills. And today we're going to build a functional resume. So let's move forward. All right. So to the right here, you see these colored blocks. This shows you what each one of those blocks looks like. There's 5 parts, and it's going to show in this colored format like this. The first one is you're telling telling about yourself, who you are, just your quick contact information. The second block is your summary. That's usually your objective, the type of job you're looking for. Education, you're discussing your trade, degrees, any credentials. And then the work experience part, skills, the past jobs you've held, things like that. And then the 5th one is certifications, license, volunteering, anything like that that you felt that you wanted to promote. You know, maybe you got a safety OSHA class, OSHA 30 class. Maybe you got your commercial driver's license. Maybe you've worked in human resources and accounting, things like that. You had to learn QuickBooks or some Microsoft Office, you know, type software. This would be a great opportunity, depending on your industry and your specific occupation, where you would put those certifications and license. And like I said, it's simple in the way it's blocked. And you could build your resume, if you knew that information offhand, you could build your resume pretty quickly. And I think that's what Career Edge is intended. They intended for the individual to not be overwhelmed, because, you know, if you've had a career for a really long time, that's, you know, to try to sum it up on a piece of paper becomes a little difficult. And this makes it simple in 5 parts, and you just break it up for each section. And so we're going to discuss each section. So this is what each screenshot looks like. I went ahead and screenshotted each, what it's going to look like for you. So this individual, her name is Laura Johnson. You know, she wanted to put her address in. She wanted to put her phone number. She wanted to put her email address, especially phone number and email. This is going to be the way that the employer gets a hold of you. So you want to have a phone that you can access easily. You want to ensure that you have a professional voicemail. You want to ensure that that voicemail box isn't full, so that an employer can contact you if they wanted to do so. And then also you want to have a professional email. So, you know, you might have an email from, like, that was a kind of a joking, you know, funny name that you might be a nickname or something funny from your younger days. That's not the email that we want. You can create an email very simply and for free. You can go to Gmail, you can go to Yahoo, different ones like that. But a lot of times people use Gmail, but you just want to kind of create a very simple one. You might have parts of your name and a couple of numbers that you can easily remember, but you want that email to be professional in what you're using, you know, to kind of, like we said, we're branding ourselves, and we want to brand ourselves in a professional manner. So, you know, the professional individual is going to have a voicemail box that isn't full. They're going to be readily available, and they're going to have a professional email. And so that contact information is going to be right at the top, and they'll be able to contact us easily. Okay, so our summary, this is where we get to tell about ourselves. So it says, for the summary, you can describe yourself and the position you're currently seeking. This can be done in a short paragraph, bullet points, or both. So this would just be depending on, you know, what you're looking for. If you want to give like quick bullet points, you know, this is what my objective, I'm looking for this. But this individual chose to create a quick, short paragraph. So they said, my objective is to obtain a position as a customer service representative that helps contribute to others and allows me to use my skills and education. I seek a career that works along a company that has integrity and respect for employers and clients and optimizes customer service satisfaction. I forget what else it says, but it's simple, it's organized, it's professional. They're immediately saying, I have the skills and education, I've obtained it for this type of position. I want to work with someone that has integrity and respect for others. That probably entails that that's who they are as well. So immediately right under your contact information, you have an objective statement that tells them exactly what you want, exactly the type of person you're looking to work for, and you know what you represent in the skill set that you hold. And so it will really benefit you to just immediately put that confident objective. This is what I'm looking for. And then at the bottom, you see this is where we go ahead and incorporate some of those skills depending on your industry. So like I said, this one was suggestions for general skills. Obviously, you've gained skills on the job that you might go ahead and incorporate in here, but this person's kind of a little, some generic ones. So you could go ahead and, click on the plus signs and they'll add to the bullet points. So this one has excellent organizational skills and attention to detail. And then the next slide talks about the skills even more so. Excellent organizational skills and attention to detail, punctual, detail-oriented, ability to work well within teams as well, skilled in problem solving and time management, problem solving. This person has Microsoft Office knowledge, management experience. And a lot of times our employers that we talk to at the workforce, a lot of times they're really looking for that individual who can hone some soft skills. And that's what these are. All of these are soft skills. Soft skill is the individual who can manage time easily. They know how to problem solve. They are quick learners. They're able to be depended on. A lot of times employers find that their candidates that they're looking at, and then once they're getting on the job, they don't really hold these skills. And so that's why we drive home career edge and, looking at certain skills within your industry, because the employer's telling you exactly what they need, and the skills are usually sometimes lacking. So we all have to build those. We have to build that rapport. We have to build, how do you, sometimes you don't know early on, taking some early jobs as like a teenager or, in college, or you're learning what that looks like. And so a lot of individuals that you might know who have good work ethic, a lot of these skills they've learned, either early on when they kind of invested in themselves and built that for themselves. And over time with their jobs, they learned how to manage times and be dependable and things like that. And that's what you want. You want to be able to have these skills and be able to, that will allow you to work there a lot longer. I know the managers I've spoken to recently, a lot of them are saying, we could teach them how to do the hard skill. We could teach them how to, really, work in this environment, but, I can't, set their alarm to show up. Right. And so that's the idea. We all need to have this within ourselves. They don't have to worry about the soft skills part, and then you can just do your job well because you already have, created this professionalism and are able to be a good worker. And that's what all these skills are all about. And that's what Career Edge is all about, teaching employable skills and really building a person and building a brand and building an employable individual who can be in the workforce and be able to work long-term. Right, so that's our skills and knowledge. Let's move forward to the next section. So this would be where you put any education or credentials, high school graduations, maybe just university, maybe it was you went and got like a license that was like a quick work readiness, things like that. And you see how this says there was a plus sign that you could like add any type of education you wanted. This person they went to, you know, a university, they studied aspects in the customer service industry, and, you know, they went ahead and put when they graduated. And so this is where you could go ahead and put all of those things and build that education component. That way it can show easily. But like I said, if you didn't have education, you might have just had GED or high school diploma. This would be that moment once, you know, you get to the skill set, you're really going to hone in those skills and be able to, people learned on the job a lot of times. So the education component might not even, you know, pertain. And then you just, like I said, you build that skill, and then you show them, you know, I've learned on the job, you know, this whole time. I never went to school for it, but you can see, you know, it all came together because I learned and have, you know, been on the job for this long. So, but the education component, that's where you would put that, any degrees. And then this is where you'd put any work experience, even if you had an internship or worked for a company for several years or things like that. And I like for individuals to think outside the box. You know, perhaps it could be the individual who, you know, is just now coming out of high school, and, you know, maybe they've taken an internship and they've learned a couple of things. They haven't worked for money yet. And some of them are really just having to, you know, depend on some special projects they did in high school or special projects they did in volunteering or things like that. You can build a resume because you were investing in certain things and you were learning, you were taking direction from someone, and that's the same. You were, you know, we learn from the moment we're born, we keep learning. And, you know, don't think of it as work experience, just think of it as skill experience. You know, you didn't always have to be paid money for that learned experience. And so I know for me, a great lesson that was taught to me from my grandfather was, I have a degree in kinesiology. Kinesiology is the movement of the body and people going into physical therapy. And here I am, I'm a facilitator for the workforce. I just remember wondering, you know, how do I, you know, pertain to others in this industry? And he said, you know what, you learned, you took direction, you worked with others, and you moved forward and you accomplished something. And so ever since, I really was appreciative of that. And that really benefited me a lot. You know, I took that with me and I was able to be teachable, and I carried it through to other industries. So this individual, they worked at an enrichment center, and they were a customer service representative there. They assisted individuals, they had duties, responsibilities, successful projects, awards or recognition, and that would be where you would go ahead and put, you know, what you did on the job. I'm going to read what this says in the chat. I don't know if I was supposed to. What are CUs? I'm trying to think what that acronym is. Go and explain that to me, Miss Denise. Sorry. I'm unsure what CUs are. Sorry. I'm still looking at the chat if you want to. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Continuing education, for sure. All of that matters. Continuing education, short work readiness, trainings, things like that. Like what we have offer at the workforce. We offer, you know, people to get that OSHA training, and that's like a quick 4-day training, and all of that really benefits, you know, throughout. And so it doesn't have to be, you know, 2-year, 4-year, this, you know, it just depends on what did you get educated in, whether it be continued ed, you know, license, technical school, things like that. Did all of those benefit you in the knowledge that you can carry over to the employer? And so, yeah, continuing education is very beneficial, and you want to incorporate all of that because like I said, the whole intent is to get the interview. So what do you need to put on this resume to really boost you forward, to bring your resume to the top, and everyone else, have to, be fighting for a spot, and then you're ready to go because you went ahead and incorporated everything that the employer is asking for in that job posting. And, you learned those skills, in those specific avenues of education that you had. And then the different work experience here. And so this individual put her work experience, and as you can see at the bottom, you put the plus sign and you add another employment position, just whichever ones you want. A lot of times they say, go ahead and put at least the last 10 years. I know a lot of us, we might have jobs, from bukus ago, like, eons ago that might pertain to industries we're seeking now. It's all in how you want to convey yourself. But a lot of times they want to see, what have you been incorporating the last, 10 years. And some of us might have been at the same job for that, even longer. So it's just depending on your industry and how that looks and how you've obtained those positions. All right. Okay. And last but not least, this is that fifth part of our resume. We're going to incorporate any certifications, any license, any types of volunteering. This individual, they volunteered at a learning center. They did their homework. They looked and they looked up the employer. They looked at their mission statement. They looked at their company website, and they were like, wow, they love volunteering. They're all involved with the community. They hold a, dinner for whatever every once a year for, make money for this and have scholarships for kids for this. So like, it really is important to really understand the company you're going for. It's not just the job represents a whole and a company, and it's bigger, bigger than that just one job that you're holding. And so what are you getting yourself into? They might appreciate an individual with some volunteer experience. They might appreciate someone, if you're a veteran, that might be beneficial. Maybe you have, speak fluent in Spanish, or you have some other, personal qualities, special skills, that might really benefit you in this moment. And like I said, you're branding yourself and you're selling yourself. So what really speaks volumes? And thinking outside the box, looking up that individual. I know a lot of times I teach this in interview process, but if you have an interview with Mr. Bob and you don't know what he looks like, he might be big, tall, and scary. Look him up. He might be on Facebook. He might be somewhere else, right? And we're all in a virtual sense. So someone's going to be represented on the computer somewhere. That way you can get an idea of who these people are that you're going to be working with, because we're at our jobs more than we're at our homes sometime, with our families. So we have to understand what type of work we're getting in, and knowing what certifications, license, or volunteering, knowing the best thing that suits our industry is very important. License, I know there's certain important ones that matter for you to even get the job. So obviously a nursing license. To be a CDL driver, you have to have a certification, and there's license and certifications that you have to be able to get. And, some of you might be interested in schooling, and the workforce does offer some schooling opportunities. If you wanted to obtain something, there's a qualifying factor on it. I'm trying to think of the word. Well, there's qualifying, you have to qualify for it. So look to we do have a webinar on, our different programs and what the workforce represents. And so look to that one, or just look at our website, easttexasworkforce.org, and you're going to have that later on, where you can gain some credentials, maybe a quick certification, a license. We teach a customer service representative we teach a OSHA 30 class, we teach Microsoft Office class, you know, we offer potential schooling for those to go get their, you know, LVN degrees, get a nursing degree, or get that truck driver, or get like a heavy equipment operator. There's certain avenues and relationships we've established with different schools. And, you know, if it's in that targeted occupation list, you know, you might benefit. And so, you know, if you're really thinking of changing some things, have some new ideas during this time, saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and go for it. You know, go ahead and talk to us, talk to a career advisor. And you can find more about that on that webinar, but then also go into our website. So, all right, we've put all of our information into our resume. We're good to go. All we have to do is click a template design. Whoever created this was hilarious. It says Leonardo DiCaprio. It's hilarious. Ariana, graduate. Plain Jane. So funny. LeBron Jobs. Funny. So you just create whichever template you want, you know, which one you thought, you know, suits you the best. You just click on it and then it inputs your information. And then you can move forward, and then it'll populate it. And so this is what Laura chose. Hers looks nice and organized. You know, if I were an employer, it would be easily readable. It's, you know, grammar, you know, I's dotted, T's crossed, there's periods, good punctuation, you know, and I can easily read it. And that's what you have to think of. Me as an employer, would I read my resume? And so think in the place of an employer. All right, so we have our resume, we're good to go. So that is Career Edge, the 5 parts, the 5 sections. So in conclusion, just building your resume is a necessary step in moving forward towards new opportunities, especially career opportunities. CareerEdgeStexas.com has a lot to offer you as a job seeker. So if you take advantage of these exceptional resume building tools, it can help you with finding the job you desire and set you up on a path driven towards success. And that's exactly what we want. Every one of us facilitators, we want to assist you. And, you know, but where it hits the road is once you watch these webinars, you have to put the work in. You have to actually go build that resume. You have to build those interview skills. You have to really, you know, look within yourself and build that brand. What brand are you? Who do you represent? Like, what do you want to be saying? Where do you want to be working? And so build that resume, you know, take advantage of all the tools we have. And do I have any questions? I'm looking at chat. Looking at chat. Feel free to ask anything. I'll keep looking at it. But thank you for being here. Y'all are all great. We've had a great group. I know a lot of you've participated in a lot of ours throughout already. So I just hope y'all are, you know, taking it home and really, you know, digesting it later. But here's some additional resources if you're new to our webinar today. View all of our upcoming webinar schedule and other training resources at our easttexasworkforce.org. A lot of great wealth of information for the job seeker. You know, if you're a veteran, you can look on there. If you know a youth, you can look on there for great things as well. Also, CareerEdgeStexas.com, which we discussed today, advantage of the toolkits, the resume builder, interview simulation trainer, things like that. Great stuff. And then just follow us on all of our social media platform. We're called Workforce Solutions East Texas, and you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And, you know, we're updating those continually. I know we as a staff, we're all working from home currently, but I know there's going to be steps being put into place on how we're moving forward to be open to the public and us working back at the office and assisting customers. And obviously everyone understands, you know, nothing's going to look the same. There's, you know, certain, you know, health measures and things like that, abiding by, you know, the different, you know, things that are put into place. So we're all going to be learning what that looks like. But let's just be prepared and open to, you know, work together and keep moving forward, but we're just glad we can assist you with these webinars right now. Especially after this, if you want to contact us anyway, there's our website. Also, you can call us. Like I said, we're working from home. So if you needed to talk to me, talk to someone else, you know, a career advisor, something like someone specific, you call and ask for them and they could immediately contact us. Or if you need an email, I know an individual contacted me earlier this week. They wanted assistance and some resume assistance. They sent me their resume and I'm looking over it. If you wanted to do that, you could do the call center mailbox, you know, or call, or you could email the call center mailbox, you know, ask for me or, you know, someone to assist you in resume assistance, and then we could help you with that for sure. But yeah, that is us. And then also we have a survey that's really beneficial to us. You know, we're new at this webinar thing, and your opinion, you're our job seeker. So we really do need y'all to go onto this website. So surveymonkey.com/r/RC89LY9. So if you are taking notes right now, go ahead and jot that down for us. Or if you had your phone, that's a QR code and you could like click it really quick. But like I said, your opinion does matter to us. So we kind of, you know, we're going to try to continue these. I know we're continuing on through May. So just let us know how we're doing and we want to be able to help you. So thank y'all so much for being here today. And is there any other questions? I'm looking at chat. All right. Well, thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy the weekend and the start of the May.
Cammie.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Who's talking to me?
Great.
Oh, Miss Zora?
Yes.
Oh, hello. Hi, Miss Zora.
Hello. It was good. Very good. Very good.
Thank you, ma'am. I feel like it changes a little bit. I feel like we're always evolving a little bit. Yeah. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you and everybody.
Have a good one.